Welcome to TipTea Podcast, Take 50, because we have done this about 50 fucking times. Hi, Layla.
Robert.
Because it's fucking Mercury Retrograde and we're struggling.
I was going to say, and the hits just keep on coming, baby.
Baby. So not only have we had to do this like 3 times because we have just failed at life, I've had an abysmal day. Like, let's just start from the beginning. So my MacBook died, and this MacBook is a day old. Mm-hmm. And I fucking try to do, what did they call it? It was like a migration of, because I have a Mac. I have what we're recording on right now is the Mac. And then I bought a MacBook. So then it was like, do you want to sync the data from your Mac to your MacBook? And I was like, yeah, duh. So I did the migration thing. So it was like 2 hours. It's going to take 2 hours. So I was like, bet, I'm going to take a nap. Mm-hmm. 2 hours later, well, it was like 3 hours later because I overslept. 3 hours later, I come back. This fucking computer is like dead. And then I turn it on and it's like a circle with the exclamation point, and it says like restore. It needs to restore. So I try to restore it. Of course, that doesn't work. I call Apple. Of course, they're like, we can't fix it. So you're going to have to send it to the shop. So today I go to Apple thinking that the appointment is at 11:45. Well, that was cute because it's actually 11:30 and I was leaving at 11:20 and it's like a 15-minute drive. So you bet your fucking ass I was driving like a bat out of hell. Yes. So got there. Then I'm talking to this guy in the front who's like a security worker. And I'm like, yeah, so my appointment was for 11:30. It's 11:38 right now. So I'm like 8 minutes late. And he's just looking really confused. And I go, are you like the person I need to be talking to? And
it's like one of those moments when you run in and you're just like, so I don't even know. Like,
I was discombobulated. Yes.
You're just discombobulated and you're just like, hey, this person looks like he works here. And you just like start unloading on them. And they're like, yes, that's great. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Exactly. Like, I'm glad you understand where I'm going. Like,
that's
so
me every day at work.
Yeah. So I was like, do you even know, like, are you the person I need to be talking? He's like, yeah. And I was like, okay, good. Because I don't want to unload on you for no reason. So then he was like, no, you're fine. Like, you're fine. So I was like, okay, great. So I had to give my computer to the person, like, it's there overnight getting worked on. Fuck my life.
Why don't they just give you a new computer?
I don't know, because it could be repaired. I guess they're going to try to repair it.
But if they don't, are you getting a new one?
Yeah. I mean, it's not going to cost me anything right now. Like, yeah, they were like, it's not going to cost you anything. We're just going to keep it and repair it. So whatever.
That's actually so annoying.
It is really fucking annoying. And this is a fucking day old, like, computer. Like, I don't understand.
So that happened. What else happened? So I went out to eat today with my friends, and I was social distancing and being a good girl. So anybody listening to this and rolling their eyes, like, I was being a good girl. Then I noticed that I was getting like 9 charges on my Apple card, and then realized that my card had been compromised. So I had to leave the table and go to my car and call the credit card company and tell them that there was some fraudulent activity on my credit card.
So that was great. Then I got home and I'm unloading groceries from the back, and I start closing the garage, and then I realize that the garage is closing and the trunk isn't closed. So the hatchback on the Jeep is like open. So I run to the garage, try to stop the garage, cut my fucking hand. It looks like I punched somebody in the face. Which could started bleed. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely like I'm a straight man. Like, it looks like I got in a fight.
Yeah, your kind of fight would be like the Broadway ones. What's it called? Like the Sharks versus the Jets.
Oh, what is that? Oh, fuck.
Okay, we need Jonathan. Where are you?
John? You said Jonathan.
Oh, excuse me, John. I was just saying more official name. Whatever, we need him.
West Side Story. Oh, we did it at the same time. We did it at the same time. I love you. I love you so much. Speaking of John.
Yes.
So I discussed the PowerPoint party.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so my topic was boyfriend twins. And
did you use that website that I told you about, the Instagram one?
Yes, I did. I used it for the pictures. So there was a slide that was just labeled examples, and then I showed a bunch of those pictures from the Instagram. And then I said, so it was a bunch of pictures, and each picture that would pop up, I would go, brother or boyfriend, brother or boyfriend, brother or boyfriend. And then at the end of the slide, I go, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you right now, they were all boyfriends.
Oh my God. And now how did I don't know how many people were a part of this, but how did everyone react?
Oh, everybody. Yes, everybody was dying. Like, it was great. I mean, everybody truly brought their A game to the PowerPoints. So John did tapas and why tapas are an affront to God's plan. And so
what's his deal with that?
Well, so, and I agree to an extent. Like, his thing was like, so for example, a tapa is like, let's say it's $13, and you get like 2 or 3 pieces on your plate, and that's $13. Well, he said his argument was, well, you could take those tapas that are $13 and you could get 13 slices of pizza, of New York style pizza, which,
I mean, not wrong.
He's not wrong. Like, and
very different avenues.
I mean, granted, your girl does love, like, I love some New York style pizza, like, give it to me. But I mean, I will say for me and you, we're more quality over quantity.
Absolutely.
Whereas he is quantity over quality. Like, as long as he's
able to have dinner with us. And Brandon, shout out Brandon.
Yeah, I mean, he's down to clown, but if he has his choice, like, he's gonna do quantity over quality.
Okay.
You know, we can agree to disagree, but
exactly.
But yes, like I said, everybody brought their A game. It was great. So yeah, there was that, but so
it's more of a silver lining than a Mercury retrograde moment. But, you know, I hope it balances things out for you.
Yes.
Like that kind of positive energy, those good times.
Yeah, it was. So Mercury retrograde started January 30th, and that was the day that we had our PowerPoint presentation. And then today, February 1st, I was struggling a bit. So it was like, at first, like when Mercury went retrograde, I was like, great. Like, this isn't bad. I'm actually like everything's going great. And then I fucking jinxed myself, and here we are today. So
there you go.
Stay humble.
Yeah, I mean, I got into a car accident this past weekend. And
tell me all about it.
I mean, there's not much to say other than, people be texting and driving and then slamming into you in the back of your car. So I was rear-ended and not in a good way.
Have I done that before? Yes.
I also have, and I'm not going to lie to you. I've done that multiple times. On a scooter.
Can we also talk about just my affinity for wearing Webster merchandise, but not going to Webster?
So triggered. I was like, person wearing my Gorlock alumni merch, and you literally never went there. You just hung out there. But whatever, honorary Gorlock.
Okay, but here's the thing. So I have a gray Webster hoodie that I stole from Ben, which is our mutual friend. For those who don't know,
shout out Ben.
Shout out Ben. So I have his sweatshirt, but it's like an extra large. So I wear it all the time, but it's kind of dumpy. So I told
he's definitely gonna be like, fuck you.
I told Tim for Christmas, I want him to get me a Webster hoodie that is a small.
You're so funny. You're
so
funny.
He definitely got me a Webster hoodie.
That's like wearing Maryville's merch. Like, why?
Fuck Maryville. They're fucking garbage. Fuck them fucking cunts. Bitch asses.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm definitely a type of way about them. Fuck Maryville.
I was like, tell me how you really feel.
I support Webster, and I didn't even fucking go there. So
right. We appreciate you.
So yes, I wear fucking Webster merchandise, and I don't even go to Webster. So
and thank you for single-handedly supporting that school store, because
they're struggling.
Yeah, they're about to close their doors for sure.
So so this episode we're going to talk about Valentine's Day.
We got some horror stories sent into us.
So do you want?
Fun is that?
Do you want to go first and share some?
Well, how about we both just tell a quick story? We need to contribute.
Okay.
And I would be happy to throw in some stories. Now, do you want me to send you some of these stories so you can read one, I can read one, you can read one, I can read one, kind of vibe?
It doesn't matter. I have one or two. I have two.
I have a handful, and they're pretty good. It's pretty crazy.
Okay,
and
so
a lot of mine have to do. We'll get into this, but a lot of mine have to do with women on dates feeling unsafe or just
So I have women, and I also have a couple I have a couple from guys. So but do we want to share ours first?
Yeah, I would love to share ours. How about you go first?
Okay, so my horror story was I was casually seeing somebody, no emotions involved. This is just strictly we were hanging out and casually hooking up.
That's strictly dickly.
Strictly dickly. Yes, strictly dickly. No emotions, which I'm not a fan of. But yes, it was strictly dickly. And it was my birthday, and I went to a house party, and he had happened to be at the house party that I was at. And we weren't together. We just happened to see each other. So it was my birthday. So of course I'm it's my birthday. Let's do something. And so we go to his car, super classy, I know. And we're making out, doing stuff. We didn't do the do. But for some reason, I had to get out of the car. I don't even remember what it was, but I had to get out of the car. And so I'm getting out, and he's zipping his pants up. Well, he zips his balls in his pants.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I should not laugh because that's probably really painful. I mean, I'm one to talk. I've definitely received a groin injury before, but Oh my God. What did you do?
So he was freaking out. I was freaking out. And then he's like, I need to go to the ER. I'm like, okay, like, yeah, I agree. Like, you definitely got to go. So his friend came out and he was like, okay, we're going to go to the ER. And then he was like, well, are you going to come with me? And I was like, no.
You were like, hell no.
Hell no.
No, hell to the no.
Absolutely, positively not. Or I'm not going to the ER with you. This is not happening. I'm sorry. Yeah, girl. Bye, girl, fly, girl.
So that to you was, I mean, obviously that's not like a positive date experience, but was that like you would say your worst?
That and like I've been on a date where I actually called somebody the wrong name.
During
no, not during sex. Like we were like out on a date and like I called him the wrong name.
Oh, okay. I feel like that's excusable. Was it like a first date or had you been talking for a while?
It was like a first date, but still, I mean, I think if somebody fucking called me the wrong name on a first date, I'd be like, honey.
Can I tell you something?
Okay.
I was going through my hoe phase. I used to say, well, I wouldn't remember guys' names, like when we were initially starting like the dating website talk, and then they would get my phone number, blah, blah, blah. And like, I would forget who they were after the first date. And so I would save their name instead as their actual name because I would forget. It would be like an emoji that had to do with the date. And so like I would just receive text messages like while I'm at work and they would pop up on my phone. At the time I was a host at a restaurant, and all my girls would be like, who's hot dog? Who's hot dog? Who's sunset? Like, so stupid. But then I would just be like, oh no, this is how I like categorize them. And they're like, but you don't know their names? I'm like, I'll figure it out,
Priorities. Like, we're not worried about names.
Yeah, honey, that's like third date, fourth date.
Look, if you make it to the third date, I'll know your name.
So my worst, I have a few.
Okay.
One quickly is I was seeing this guy from who I met online, whatever. And this is back in my Missouri days. I didn't have much luck with Missouri dating. I don't know.
It's tragic.
Not any better.
No.
I just feel like I didn't really align with a lot of people that were out there. We just didn't vibe. But one time this guy, like after hanging out with me in like a group date setting, which by the way is kind of my go-to, he texted me the next day and was like, what's up, Trick? And then I just was so turned off by that because he was not nearly, I don't even know, cute or charming or funny enough to even try and pull that off. It was just rude. So he was told off and 86'd out of the conversation. Another one was this guy who like misrepresented himself. I mean, he was cute and he had like one of those cheesy good Tinder pickup lines. So like, okay, fine. Like, I'll entertain this. We went and had dinner, right. Like that's all it takes. We went and had dinner at a place where my friend was the AGM, and one, he represented himself as like a hospitality worker, and that initially turned me on because like, oh, we might understand each other's schedules and, might be a little more copacetic. Well, it went from him being a chef to him being a cook to him just like warming food up at a hospital. So like the various stages of representation were missed. And then at dinner, he doesn't tip 20%. So that's red flag number 2. So I had to like check in with my friend, make sure he tipped well. She was like, no, he did not. And so I'm like, okay, no, absolutely not. Like, this is not happening. And then, oh my God, this is the worst part. So we went to the parking garage where my car was parked, and we were going to just like smoke a cigarette and just like hang out. And he like tried to kiss me, and I kind of pushed him away. And he's like, so do you want to suck my dick? Like, can you please just like leave? So I just like got in my car, like said no words, like just pushed him off and was like, I'm leaving. Like, what is wrong with you?
Wait, but here's the thing. Like, so you get rejected, and then you take it a step further and say, so you want to suck my dick? Like, the balls, the nerve.
What do we always say? Men will always have the audacity.
That is it. The audacity to think that
I'm gonna shoot my shot.
I don't want to kiss your lips, but I will suck your dick. No. No.
So, needless to say, I got the fuck out of there.
But can we also just talk about how the tipping rule?
Yeah, we need to. I think everyone needs to talk about this.
So,
you know the unspoken rule, right?
The unspoken rule is if you are getting the hookup, which means you're getting some food comped or you're getting something special that you're not usually supposed to get, but you get anyway, you tip on the original amount.
Including if, like let's say a round of drinks is bought for you. It may not even appear on the bill.
But you still, yes,
right.
Do some fucking arithmetic and figure out what the total would have been with everything included. And then you tip on that total. You don't tip on the discount.
Exactly, boo-boo. And this is why we vibe. Because you just get that shit.
Yes, because like I was a server too, so I get it. But like even if I wasn't a server, yes, girl, Buffalo Wild Wings, girl, like
oh my god, B-dubs,
girl, I was getting it.
Oh my god, that's so funny. I forgot about that.
But
I was right by my old favorite restaurant, Old Country Buffet.
Oh, we love it. We love it.
The crown gem of the Midwest.
But yes, you tip on the original.
Tip on the original. So of course, being somebody, I mean, like that to me is a deal breaker. What about you?
That is it might not be a deal breaker, but I'm definitely going to call it out. Like I would say like, that bothers me.
Cheap people. I just don't like it. I don't appreciate it.
I don't appreciate it. I will call somebody out on it.
Right. Especially if the service was excellent. And I mean, I honestly, like, even if there is an issue.
Even if there is an issue, you still tip 20%.
All right. These people don't make any fucking money. They make minimum wage plus tips. Like, take
unless
manager.
The service is horrendous. Horrendous.
Like, figure it out, right?
Yes.
Give you a free meal the next time.
Yeah.
Like, you're still sitting in someone's section, taking up, their time, their space. I feel like there's better ways to handle shit like that than to, I don't know. It just feels really wrong to me when people don't tip. Like, well.
It's like you're cheating. It's like you're cheating them.
It feels like, I don't know, like I don't experience a lot of guilt in my life, but that for some reason I'm always like, are they taken care of? Like it's just something that's like embedded in my hospitality driven like mindset.
Please tell me, have you seen the TikTok of the girl that's like that server and she does all those different scenarios of
I've seen the guy who wears the wigs.
No, girl, oh my god, I need to send you this TikTok of this girl that does like she's a server and she does all these different scenarios and it's so fucking it's triggering. It is literally trigger. I'm like fuck, like I remember exactly.
Were you like, it has its redeeming qualities? Because I personally hated it.
Some days were bad. I'm 50. I would say 50-50. I didn't mind it. Like on a good night, like when it slammed, and I made great fucking money. Like I liked walking out with a whole bunch of fucking tips, like cash in my hand, like that I could do whatever the fuck I wanted to. Like, okay, honey, I'm going out. Like, but
I felt more secure in like the fun, like floating maitre d' position because I could still like mingle and have fun and still get the job done. But like the pressure of when I would serve, I would have nightmares of like, oh, I never brought table 31 their ketchup. Like that haunts me. Why? I don't know. But like my mind will play tricks on me. Or like a crazy Mother's Day brunch, like where tables had to wait a long time for their food. Like I'll have dreams about that where I just like wake up anxious as fuck because they've been waiting 45 minutes for their entrees. Fuck that, man. Not the life for me.
Do I miss serving?
What was that noise?
Sometimes. I mean, yeah. But I do like a steady paycheck, but I did love that fast cash, like in my hand, like as I was leaving.
For sure. But like also you could be like a sex worker. And
I was just going to say I could be a stripper, like, and do that.
Just a different kind of service.
Different kind of service. All right. Do you want to, you can read some of your fan horror stories?
Yeah. So we reached out to, on our Instagrams and just put up a story saying like, we want to hear from you about your worst dating stories. And Robert and I, we're not going to read you to filth. We are probably going to read the people involved, on the opposite side of the date. We might read them to filth, but we'll see. So the first one that I have from somebody to remain anonymous, this woman said that she went on a date with somebody and she arrived and he was a little drunk beforehand and she could tell. And then he had the audacity to tell her that he was on a date with her because his friends and family said he needed to stop dating models. What are your thoughts on that?
Check, please.
Mm-hmm.
Not even check, please. I'll just say, I would just be like, I gotta go. Like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom and then I just jet.
Same person, different story. And I'm actually like feeling really bad because I feel like this is cathartic for some people, but also I'm just like, I just feel so bad, but it's also good that they're getting it out because these stories live within them as like awful memories. So this guy told this girl on their third date, that he couldn't date her because she was Jewish, but it was cool if they still wanted to hang out, aka her continue to sleep with him.
Wait, because he was Jewish and she's not?
Because she was Jewish. So he couldn't date her because she was Jewish.
Oh.
But on the third date. So like, girl. Point of contention at some point, question mark?
I mean, here's the thing. Well, it's just hard for me because like, I have
outside of your religion?
I have a confession.
Ooh. Okay. Am I in church right now? Are we in the booth?
I love Jewish men.
Tell me more.
I don't know what it is about Jewish men. Like, I don't. You do understand? Okay, so Tim is an accountant, and I'm like, you are literally a Jewish man, but you're not Jewish.
He is from Sex and the City, the lawyer guy. Like that's who he kind of reminds me of. He's your version of that.
What, Charlotte's guy? I can't think of his name. No, but he's not Jewish, so I can't I didn't convert or anything.
No,
but
no, I'm saying.
But fuck, I love Jewish men. I don't know what it is. I have no idea what it is, but it's a thing I'll be like, oh man, that guy's really hot. And then find out that he's Jewish. And I'm like, oh.
So what is it? Is it the personality or are you just talking based on aesthetics?
Personality. I don't even want to say.
Wait, no, go on.
I don't even want to. I can almost tell by their noses. This is so odd. This is fucking horrible. I don't
first person to make that joke. So
I love Jewish men. They can get it.
Actually, I've never known that many. Until I came to Chicago. Now I know some, but I feel like I just don't interact with them on a regular basis, which is wild.
There's something, but would I convert? No, but.
So what do you think about this guy being like, I can't date you because you're Jewish, but then still proceeding to be like, do you still want to sleep together?
The audacity.
Right. Exactly.
No, honey, if you want to get inside this, but you ain't trying to take it anywhere, no. Unless I'm not trying to take it anywhere, then yes, okay. But this is the third date.
If there's an agreement and we are both on the same page kind of vibe.
Yes, but this is the third date, so I'm assuming she wants more than just casual sex. So
yeah, exactly. Like if I have put in the work and the time and the effort to hang out with you this much, clearly we see it going somewhere, I would hope. But that's a bummer. I would be bummed.
I would be bummed.
Give me one of your stories.
Okay, so let us see. Went on a date with a guy to the Blues Victory Parade. He convinced me to get on a bird scooter. I was on that thing for maybe 2 minutes and crashed right over the handlebars, broke my fall with my left wrist, thought I had an open fracture, but it was just my ulna poking through, and then went back into place. Bought myself an ambulance ride to BJC and was in the ER for hours. Crushed my distal radius. They had to reset it. It was actually called in as a level 2 trauma. And then the research team was doing a study, so they asked me a ton of questions. So now I'm a statistic in some grad student's paper. Ended up needing surgery and now have a plate and screws to show for a first date gone real bad. The guy did end up going with me and stayed at the hospital with me the entire time. We talked a couple more times after that, but never went out again.
Ooh. Well,
girl.
Good for him for sticking around.
More than I could say for me, because...
I was just going to say because... Wow.
Wow. Girl.
So obviously you know that I recently just fractured recently, like a year ago. This past summer I fractured my wrist. Had to have surgery, but like it wasn't a cool story like bird scooter plus blues parade plus it was just me literally tripping on the sidewalk over like uneven pathways. And no one was around to help me, which is really sad. Actually, that's a lie. There were people across the street who laughed at me because they saw me fall, but they didn't realize the severity. So, I mean, happy for her in the sense of like she had someone along with her for the whole time. Cause I definitely like at one point was like alone for the whole thing. And I was just like, wow, this sucks. And it was COVID and
Fucking horror story.
And I love the pulling it together at the end and be like, and I am a statistic in somebody's paper. Like, that's really funny.
So another one was one time I invited a guy over that I met on Hot or Not. He came in, I think it's like a dating thing.
Okay.
He came in like he owned the place, sat on the couch, turned on the TV, put his feet up on my coffee table with shoes on, and started watching sports. I told him to get the fuck out.
Wait, and this was the first date?
Yes.
No.
The audacity. No. No. Let's see.
I'm quite disgusted by some nasty ass man feet anyway. I'm like, a man like that did not take his shoes off when he walked in the house.
If any man were to, no man would have the audacity to do that to me because I would cut them. But
you would use those roughed up knuckles and
cut
something to remember you by.
Okay, so I have another one.
Mm-hmm.
This is a really quick one. A guy who I was on a date with a few weeks ago farted while he was sucking my dick. Like, straight ripped ass.
Oh, no.
Killed my boner.
Well, which part? Was it the sound or the smell? That's my first question.
I think it was the smell.
Okay, like that I could understand.
I almost kicked him out, but I let him spend the night because he drove 45 minutes to see me. Awkward as fuck.
Why do we do this? Why are we so nice? Why are people so nice? I'd be like, thank you so much for your service.
Because it's just so awkward. I mean, confrontation is just so awkward.
It is awkward, but I would hope that I don't know, I just see you, Robert, like in that same situation. I don't know, like a part of me thinks that you would literally just be like, no. You know what I mean? Like,
I feel like I wouldn't be like, you need to leave, but my reaction to that happening would be like, oh, what the fuck is going on?
I would probably cry. Like, if it was me who was doing the farting,
okay,
I would literally run out.
Can I just say, I have a question, and I want your opinion.
Yeah.
So you're at a guy's house. You're spending the night.
Okay.
You have to fart. What do?
I have to go to the bathroom. I turn on the water.
Okay, I do the same thing.
On the toilet.
I do the same thing.
And, you know, sometimes if it's going to be like, if it's just a fart, like I'll try to do it quietly and try to do it quickly because like who washes their hands for 5 minutes? Like, why is this thing going that long? So, but like, what if it, like, you know how sometimes farts turn into like a short moment or something?
Okay.
Like,
so
what if we had queso earlier in the night? Like,
so have you ever pooped at a guy's house?
I have, but like that's after I'd been dating them for a while. Like I would never, like honestly, I would rather hold it in and die than poop in front of a guy that I'm dating.
Okay,
like,
so
I have the worst like public pee and poop. Like
I have public pee and poop fear too, but I have like had to go poop and just done like the quick like super quick flush, like as soon as it's out, and then you know, have the water. Like, let me put it this way, super classy about it, like definitely not trashy.
Bring your own matches.
No, oh my gosh, it's not to that. Oh honey, if it gets to that point, I'm just gonna kill, like no. This is what you do. You just date somebody that is a very sound sleeper, and then you wait till they go to sleep and then do that.
Then you rip ass?
Then you go to the bathroom, turn on the water, and do your business. And
okay, I think that's like a polite way of doing it.
Look, you just have to be, just be strategic. That's my best advice.
Yeah, but at what point in the dating, how many dates or whatever do you think you would feel comfortable to like fully?
I feel like after maybe we've had sex like twice, because like,
oh wow, okay,
you've been there, like, you know, we're intimate. I mean, we're not like emotionally intimate, but like we're into, like, you've seen me naked, I've seen you naked, like, if you can't handle me at my worst, then
is that what people mean when they're like saying their vows?
Yes.
I love it. Oh geez. All right.
Have I accidentally farted in front of somebody? Yes.
Ugh. I don't even want to talk about that.
And to this day, I don't know if they know that I did that or not. I didn't even acknowledge it.
I would absolutely blame it on somebody's like pet though.
I didn't even, well, they didn't have pets, so. Oh.
Oh, you're a fucking dog. I don't have a dog.
I gotta go. Goodbye. So stupid.
All right, I got one.
Okay.
All right, so got another one sent in. This person asked me out while I was at work. I said, okay, because why not? He seemed like a quiet, nice guy. He picked me up and we went to some Italian restaurant. Once we got there, I asked if we could sit at the bar and he said no, LOL. Okay, so we went to go sit at a table. Dude goes to sit across from me, stops, and instead sits next to me at the table. I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm going to pause here. What are your thoughts on same side booth sitters?
Okay, I was just going to ask. That triggered my, like, I want to know your thoughts. Okay, here's the thing. It's okay for me, but you already have to be in a very established, comfortable relationship. Yeah. Like, this is not this is not first date shit. You don't.
I agree. Like, first dates, you need to find that connection. If you're not looking somebody in the eye,
yeah.
Like, why are you sitting next to each other?
Like, sitting next to each other is very intimate. So I would say to be sitting next to each other with nobody on the, like, across from you and just sitting like next to each other. I don't think that's not, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I just think that is very intimate and it would be very weird as like a first date thing. Like, it would catch me off guard.
So if somebody did that to you, how would you handle the situation? Would you go with it or would you like make up an excuse like, oh, there's a draft on this side?
I want to say that I would come up with something witty, but honestly, I'd probably just deal with it because I hate confrontation. So
I would probably go to the bathroom and then like on my way.
Oh, that's a good idea. I could do that.
So there's that. Anyway, so she goes on to say that she proceeded to end up asking him a lot of questions because he did not really want to talk. So she said that was pretty awkward. They weren't sitting there in dead silence. She kind of like handled the whole conversation, in which he would answer her questions in 1 or 2 word sentences, which to me is like so off-putting. Like, nothing is worse to me, even if like we're still just texting. Nothing is worse to me than like somebody who doesn't ask follow-up questions or like genuinely seem like they want to get to know me and the vibe's not there. So like already this date that she's talking about,
it's a disaster.
It's a disaster.
Yeah.
Like, he will not look at her. He's quiet, which, I mean, okay, quiet boys can be sweet, whatever. But like the fact that he's not engaged makes me think that he's not into you, or you are just like freaking him out because you're so intimidating, which is a compliment, but at the same time, you shouldn't be fucking with men like that.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah, exactly.
So she does what I would do. And she says, I'm chugging wine at this point because this is miserable. So that's absolutely something I would do. Finally, we finished dinner, and thank God he pays because I feel like I should have been handed a check for what I just sat through. He drives me home. I tell him thanks and have a good night. He stops me and asks, you hate me, don't you?
Oh. Just run.
What is with that last, like, miserable, like, moment? Hate me. What
you
is
hate
that?
me,
What
don't
do you
you?
think that is?
I mean, it's insecurity.
100%. It's so weird. Oh, I actually did get a response from a guy. Let's pull that one up. This gentleman says, I went out with this girl I met at Missouri State at a party. And it was like after he went back to Webster, I guess. He said he didn't have a car, so she picked him up. They went to Pie Pizzeria at the Loop. They had a good time at dinner, but on the way back, so when they were talking, she, no joke, looked at me while she was driving for way too long, and he thought they were going to die. I can't.
Oh, shit.
I can't. Is somebody that's just like a driver that just stares at you and not at the road?
I have a good one. Are you ready?
I'm so ready.
One time I went on a date with a guy who Yeah. One time I went on a date with a guy who, once I got there, told me he was on the autism spectrum, but like Asperger's. We decided to watch a scary movie, and he screamed pretty much the whole time when anything scary happened. And I don't mean like just a little ice cream. I mean like full on screaming. I don't know why I didn't leave immediately, but I just figured it would be rude.
Wait, so was there a second date?
I don't think so.
What would you do? How would you handle that?
I would be laughing.
I feel like at that point, it's turning into like a joke. I know that sounds bad.
Here's the thing, like in my mind, I think that I can handle awkward situations great, but in reality, I literally just deal with it because I'm so scared. Like I just don't know what to do. Like I just am so like off put and caught off guard. Like I just deal with it. I
wish I could punk you so bad. Like hidden camera show type shit.
Yeah, I mean, it would be great because unless it was super bad, I would probably just be like, okay, like deal with it because this is so awkward. I hate confrontation and yeah, so
I feel that. I have another one.
Okay.
It says, once on a Tinder date, the guy said he stabbed someone once, and I was just kind of silent. And of course, I needed to pry because I needed more information. She said, let's just say there was no second date. And I said, wait, was this at the beginning of the date? Or was this going on before it? How did you end the date? And she admits that this was during her skater boy days. So she shouldn't have been shocked, to be honest. It happened mid-date. She still kissed him, but she didn't want to hook up. And then they said their goodbyes. And then she said she never responded to his text. Honestly, she handled that really well.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Like, you got out of there alive.
You just deal with it and then you don't respond. Yep. Got it.
So we approve this message.
We approve that. So yeah, I mean, the takeaway from this is if you're in an awkward situation, don't be like me. Have the courage to just get the fuck up and leave.
Yeah, and call them out on their shit.
Call them out on their shit.
If you're a confrontational person, and let's say your date, I don't know, says he stabbed someone in the past, like, maybe he's prone to aggression. He or she, or they are prone to aggression. So maybe just like, read the room, choose wisely. Also, go on dates where other people are around. I think that's super important. Like, either if you want it to be a one-on-one date, but still like go to a restaurant, go get coffee.
My favorite dates are the ones that are in the basement.
I'm sorry, what?
Okay. Our first date was in his mom's basement.
I got stop. He's like, do you want to see my razor blades collection, or my cats in jars collection?
Oh shit!
So, Robert, do you have like a best date story?
Best date? It's kind of hard. I went on a date and like I got to ride on this guy's motorcycle. That was pretty fucking cool. Like I was not expecting that, and it was pretty great. And we got pulled over. We got pulled over by the cops because he was speeding. Because I think he was trying to impress me, and he got a ticket. So.
Bad bullet. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, like, here's the thing. It doesn't take
a lot to impress you.
It really, I mean, you just have to be yourself and just have I'm just a good conversation person. Like, just give me good conversation.
Show me a personality.
Show me your personality. Like, yeah, I'm not
I'm not crazy. I mean, I am crazy, but
Your own way.
in my own way. But yeah, I mean, yeah, just give good conversation and don't be a fucking weirdo. Like,
I hear that.
and tip 20%.
Tip 30%.
I mean, if you're trying to impress me, tip 30%.
Yeah.
And then say, like, we're going to go get drinks afterwards. Like, that's how you seal the deal, honey.
Oh, yes.
Here. This is how you seal the deal. You just get me fucking liquored up. Like, and you're a good conversationalist and get me liquored up. Like, honey.
Okay. I mean, you're not wrong. I align. I align with that.
Don't roofie me, but get me a little liquored up.
I think if someone can keep up with me, like, and I know that sounds like I'm not humble at all, but like, you know, like if I can go out for drinks and somebody can keep up with me in terms of like being on the same level, vibing, not getting like too wasted where you're throwing up, like not being messy.
Yes.
Like, I love that. Like,
but do you know what's
show me down the line that we can like actually hang out? I know that.
But here's the thing that's even hotter. Here's the thing that's even hotter than that. If you go on a date with a guy and you're with your friends and he can keep up with your friends.
Oh, sexy.
That is the epitome of yeah, you're gonna get some. Like, if you can keep up not only with me,
so
but you can
with that band. Who's that? TLC or is that Spice Girls?
It's Spice Girls.
You gotta get with my friends. Yeah.
Yes.
Do you think that's what they meant? Like, you got a vibe?
I mean, definitely. I think that I think that is probably the biggest turn on. Like, if you could keep up not only with me, but with my friends and like, yeah, just vibe. Like, oh, definitely. Like, you're getting some. Like,
can I ask you a question?
Okay.
What is your love language?
So my love language is what's the like doing things for me, like tasks. Acts of service. Yes.
Oh my God, me too. But that's how I give it out, but that's not how I want to receive it.
Okay, so that's how I receive, but like I also like I'm a gift giver. Like and that's another thing too. Like for me, it's a blessing and a curse because I'm so excellent at gift giving, but like, no, but I mean, okay, I don't mean to say that, like, I really don't mean to say this in a, what's the word? Like in an egotistical way, but like, I'm absolutely serious. Like no ego involved. I am the best gift. I am a great gift giver. Like I am very thoughtful. I can go to a store and see something and be like, that would be perfect for so-and-so. And I'm just very like that and like spontaneous, like getting people flowers and getting people like, you know, other like gifts that are thoughtful and like meaningful at the moment. And like I'm just
only on holidays or like special occasions? Or are you just talking about like, oh, if something reminds me of this person?
Just anytime. I love giving. I love giving gifts. I do.
That's awesome. What is it about it? Is it just like their reaction? Like when it's
yeah, like I love giving something that I know somebody's gonna like. Like, you know, you see something and you're like, this would be the perfect gift. And then to give them that gift and they're like, yes, this is like, yeah.
Love that.
I love it.
That's cute. Now, how does that translate to like first date though? Like if we're talking about people going on dates, first or second date, do you like pay? Do you offer to pay? Or
me,
you know saying, like,
I usually don't offer to pay. Like I usually let them pay. Like, unless I'm the one I feel like I don't know. For gay guys, I don't know. I feel like if I'm the one asking somebody on a date, it's my responsibility. If they ask me or they're planning it, then it's there. Like, you know, or we can go Dutch. Like, that doesn't bother me. But like,
I don't mind going Dutch at all.
That doesn't bother me at all. But I do think, like, I do appreciate it. Like, if you're gonna be the one to plan it, then yeah, you should probably pay for it. But like, I'm totally okay with like, okay, this time I pay, next time you pay, or like, we're going to go get dinner, and then after this, we're going to go get drinks, and you can get drinks. Like, yeah. That's what. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you just said something that kind of triggered me. So, how do you feel about when someone's asking you out, but then they don't have a plan? So they're like, "What do you want to do?"
But they ask you out?
Yeah. Exactly. I've seen TikToks about this, and I'm kind of like, these people make a good point, because then it's on you to plan something. But it's like, I thought,
no, if they're the ones that want to go out with me, then you need to plan. Like, you have to plan something.
I agree. Yes.
Because you're the one that wanted. Like, I didn't ask you for this, so it's not my responsibility. Like, so you're putting the responsibility on me. But you wanted to
ask for this.
Yeah, like I didn't ask for this. So no, like, yeah, if you're going to ask me, then bitch, you better fucking have a plan. Like,
and I kind of love like I don't know, like if you agree to go out with somebody, it's kind of like a choose your own adventure, right? Like they are, you know, they get to know you hopefully a little bit and see what you're into, and then base it off of what they think you would like, you know, that would mesh with each other.
You know what? I just had a thought. And this was not a first date, but I will say that, okay, I have my favorite thing, a date. I will call it a date because we went out. But granted, I was married, and yeah, so it's different. But this would have been the perfect first date.
Okay.
So Tim and I went to Las Vegas, and Tim is deathly afraid of the dark, like pitch black dark, like he doesn't like it.
Okay.
And so prior to us going to Vegas, I had heard of this restaurant called Blackout. So it is.
I'm already invested. I love it.
A restaurant where it's completely pitch black. You don't know the menu going into the restaurant. You go in, it's completely pitch black. They guide you through everything, like telling you where your utensils are, where the plates are, everything. You have to feel everything. It's completely sensory.
I was going to say, it's all sensory.
It's all sensory. So I reserved this knowing Tim is deathly afraid of
such a dick.
The dark. And I just said, you know, we're going to do this. Yeah, I said, you're going to get over it. Like, we're just going to do it. Please do it for me. Like, I really want to go to this. I heard it was really fun. Like, just try it. Like, just do it. And he was a trooper, and he did it. And it was so fun. It was probably like the best date that we have been on. Like, it was just an experience. Like, you know, like we're both, you can't see anything. You're feeling everything. Like, you're just bonding over not being able to see it. It would have been, I suggest anybody that lives in Las Vegas, if this restaurant's still open, I don't know if it is, but like, to go there as a first date, because that would be, it's a perfect icebreaker.
Like breaking the ice. Yeah, I love that.
It would have been the perfect first date. Like,
yeah, that's so cool. I've never heard of that.
Yes, but it was so, and the food was great too. Like, it was, yeah.
So you saying that, I don't know why this reminded me of one really good date and then one really bad date. So
okay.
One of the best dates that I went on was with, well, it doesn't matter who it was with, but the best date because I don't need to say.
Wait, do I know this person?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, no,
we can bleep their name.
No, it doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter.
I want to know now.
I'll tell you after the show.
Okay.
But one of the best dates that I've ever been on was really like super low key and straightforward. And like we had been talking for a little bit based on Tinder, which to me, like, I like that. I like the build up to something versus just like sending 4 text messages back and forth and then being like, let's meet up. So I'm like, I'm not really like excited for this. I don't know. To me, it's more awkward, but some people like to meet in person, whatever. So we met in person, and then we basically went out to like a few bars, hung out, had a great conversation. Like the vibes were still there. We got like greasy street food at one point, and then we kept driving around. We were listening to like the Lana Del Rey album, and he was like really into it. And I was just like, oh my God, this is like perfect.
This is perfect.
Like when somebody shares, like I feel like musical interests are like aligned or similar, or when you can just music together, that to me is like a love language. And it's
I do. It is a love language. I agree.
I mean? You both
yes.
Appreciate it.
Yes.
Now that being said, a different person, one of the worst dates I've ever been on. This guy picks me up from a wedding that I had like worked, like done makeup for. Picks me up from this wedding, and then we go out, and he was a musician, and we go out to like a few bars where people know him. But like, it was really weird because it felt like he was not paying attention to me at all. Like I was just like an accessory for the evening, like not really, I don't know, much like physicality or interest was there. Mm-hmm. And then at the end of the night, like, you know, when you just get like the red flags or just waving.
Yes.
Like, was a very nice person, but I was just like, I don't see this happening. Like, and I had been talking to other people, and I had, you know, with being able to talk to other people, I was able to understand like what I like and what I don't like. And I just didn't like being, I don't know, forgotten about like in the background. I thought it was very weird. So, but like this person and I had like really good vibes. We went and saw music that evening and we vibed in that way. But then like their personality was just not very, I don't know. It just wasn't.
Like you didn't feel like you were the main character.
That's the thing. Like I don't even need to be the main character, but like I need it to feel like a date if you ask me out. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, but I mean like, yeah, like, you need to be like attention, like.
Yeah, like if we're going to get to know each other, like let's get to know each other and let's make it, I don't know. I just felt like he was more interested in me being like, I don't know, like I said, an accessory versus like we never sat down, like really talked to each other and tried to get to know each other, which was very weird. I'm like, okay, then why am I here? So I ended that very quickly. But you live and you learn.
You live, you learn.
You laugh, you love, you do all that.
Live, laugh, love. Live, laugh, love. Live, laugh, love.
Live, laugh, love. You'll live, laugh, love. That's like some TikTok bullshit that I
have. Yes, that fucking yeah. You know what? Yeah.
You know who my favorite TikTok person is? I don't even know her name, but she's like always saying like this a random scenario, and then she'll be like, okay.
Yes, I said that last episode, and you're like, I don't know who that is.
Okay, because I definitely like. She came up on the TikTok, and I was
and
like, oh my God,
John knew what I was talking about, and you were like, I have no idea what you're talking. And I was like, yes, like okay, yeah, love her.
So when someone asks you out and then doesn't talk to you the whole time, okay,
like yeah, I do use that.
Gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah. So.
Oh wait, real quick. Hot topic question.
Okay.
And I want other people, if they have opinions about this, to write to us. But would you date somebody outside of your political affiliation?
You know, I want to say yes, but no. Like, here's the thing. Like,
realistic. Okay, in a perfect world, yes, I could date somebody that is actually no. No. Here's the thing. It's not.
Tell me what the thing is. Tell me what it is.
It's not like I'm a moderate. Bitch, I'm a fucking liberal. And I will even say I'm not liberal 100%. Don't get me wrong. There are some things that I'm not 100% liberal. I'll just leave it at that. But at the end of the day, I'm a fucking liberal. And if I was dating somebody that was, it just depends. It depends on the spectrum. If they're super conservative, obviously no, because that doesn't vibe with me. And I am a black person and yeah, a lot of that stuff does not jive with me. And there's a lot of inequality in the world, and just I don't, it just doesn't it just doesn't jive with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The reason I bring this up is because I recently was, just getting to know someone, and the vibes were right. This was pre-election, but this year, the vibes were right. But of course, I had to ask the question. The first question I always tend to ask, especially if it's around voting time, is, are you going to vote? Because I think that's super important.
Yes. If you say no, obviously no, block. Yeah. You're done.
Right. Exactly. It's just not going to be a vibe, right? If you were just so apathetic that it doesn't matter, then we're not going to align. So that I always ask that. And then, it turned into, who are you voting for? And I am willing to hear people out always, always. However, this person, I'm very liberal myself, as you probably know. My family are refugees, turned citizens. I'm a lover of all things LGBTQ friendly. But they're to your point, there are some liberal things that I don't align with either. So I think that's interesting. But so I'm willing to hear everyone out if they have.
Yes,
something.
I am willing to listen to everybody's. Yes, exactly. I am willing to listen to. I think it is important to know both sides.
Yes.
That's why I will fucking watch Fox News on occasion, because I want to hear. I want to hear what the fuck, in Harry Potter, when Hermione was talking about
the fact that you're even referencing Harry Potter
when
we're talking about politics, but go on.
She was fucking talking about reading that newspaper in the Deathly Hallows, and they were like, why are you still reading that garbage? And she's like, it's important to know what the enemy is saying. Mm-hmm. And that's not, and don't get me wrong, I'm not calling Republicans
enemies,
enemy,
right.
But
I'm just saying the other spectrum, it's good to know all perspectives.
It is important to know what your opposition is, what they are fighting for. So yeah, I think I am willing to listen to everything, but like you said, I'm not going to listen to hate shit, and I'm also not going to listen to illogical shit.
100%. So that being said, all this being said, this person, we had a good recourse back and forth, but it was clear that we didn't align. And I literally said, I was I don't think I'm interested. Sorry. And then that's when they came at me with aggression. And then I just blocked them. But the thing that I don't know, found most interesting is when I needed to take a step back and kind of examine the whole situation for what it was, because in some ways he made interesting points that I was willing to consider, but in others I was no, you're just wrong. In terms of you're misled and your information is based on this, and this, that's silly. Mm-hmm. I reached out to a few friends and I said, hey, do you think it's possible in this climate, which is being really specific to the Trump versus Biden era at the time, do you think in this climate it's possible to date like, if you know me, it's possible for me to date somebody that's like a moderate. And they were just like, absolutely not. Like,
No.
not even just projecting like you shouldn't, like just saying like, I don't think it's possible in this climate, because if someone, at least in that situation, is a moderate for these certain reasons, which doesn't matter, I don't need to notate them. If they're moderate for certain reasons or conservative for certain reasons and they just don't align, like, it made me realize that although I can remain open-minded, like, I don't need to, like, you know, I guess, like, make exceptions for people that I know aren't a good fit.
Yeah.
So that was really interesting for me. And that's why I like to ask people that question, because it's kind of a thinker. Like, I feel maybe back in the day when like our parents dated, it was less of an issue. Right?
Here's the thing. I think you know, a part of me thinks that it is kind of attractive to like talk to somebody that has a different perspective and to be challenged. Like,
yes.
I do like to be challenged. I like my thoughts to be challenged. However, there's just some things that are a non-negotiable, and equality is non-negotiable. And yeah, I just there's topics that are non-negotiable, and which for those people, I'm sure they have things that are non-negotiable for them too. However, I do like, I don't know, it's just a fine line. Like, I do like to be challenged. I do like to have lively conversation. I do want to hear other people's perspectives. But here's the thing. And like, if you can convince me that I am wrong, like, I will admit, like, if I'm
maybe
wrong.
Not that you're wrong, but maybe that
I'm thinking about it.
Isn't the ultimate perspective.
I will admit that. But I need, the thing that is like a deal breaker for me is like, I need to be able to date somebody or talk to somebody that is willing to, strong in their convictions and like the things that they believe in, but also like I said, like, if willing to be changed, like, do you know what I mean? Like, like, if you could be convinced like another way, that you would go another way. Like, I have been raised to believe that this is the one thing and this is the right thing, but after having meaningful conversation with you and analyzing this, I have realized that this isn't, that I'm wrong, or maybe I've just been thinking about this in a different way. Like, that's what I like to see.
Okay, so I have another point of contention for you that is debatable. Would you date or potentially like marry somebody who does not drink?
As long as they didn't give me grief for drinking, yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think at one point in my life, I was like, I don't know how I would ever, you know what I mean? Just because
I totally get it.
My lifestyle was like very much like, what's that one Gaga saying where she's like, work, club, another club.
Oh, yeah. Another club, bus.
Tour, another club.
Club, another club. Yeah.
Yeah, like that was actually like
your life.
In my 20s, early 20s. That was it. It was like work and then play. So like if they wanted to sit at home, I think maybe in that time in my life, I wasn't ready to be like at home. Now I feel like I'm totally.
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean, I mean, you could not drink and still go out and like party. Like there are people that do that. Like
I've dated someone like that before, and the thing is they responded in a way that was like, if it was just me and this person, like it was fine. And like, I could have a drink and it wasn't weird. But like when a whole bunch of people were out and about and drinking, they were so much of like a recluse that they like didn't even interact.
Oh yeah. No.
And it was just like so awkward, and like didn't even want to put in an effort to even talk to people. And it wasn't like they were like being a sourpuss. They just like, I don't know, like it just, the vibe was so wrong.
No. Yeah. See, that wouldn't work.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool. What are your thoughts? You got any other thoughts or questions or?
No, I mean, I think you covered, I mean, you did such a great job. You asked all the taboo questions.
I mean, these are, you're married.
I have a question for you. This could be our last question.
Okay.
Would you date somebody that you guys click? It's great. You know, you guys are great. They meet your parents and your parents do not like them.
Ooh.
Isn't that a good question?
Oh, that's such a good question because I'm very close with my family. Yes. And here's why. I personally think, now if my parents like resistance was warranted, like, no, he beat you. I love him. Like, okay, then maybe I need to seek therapy and figure out what's going on there. But however,
just so we are being clear, I'm not laughing at domestic violence, but
no, you're laughing at my ridiculous ass.
Yes.
Now, if it's like someone that my parents are like on the fence about or just need more time with, I would still continue to pursue them.
Yeah.
And want to like show them in a way. Like, I believe like you can tell people so much. It's more about them seeing them like, or interacting for themselves to really build that trust. So I've never been in like quite a serious relationship where like my parents have been super involved in my relationship. I've always kept my family at, and this is me personally, I've just always kept my family at a very far distance from anyone I'm dating, just because once you start meeting the family, then that to me means like
serious.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So like, I haven't had to do that too much. But if my parents dislike somebody, I would want to hear them out. Now, most importantly, I would listen to my mother. My dad's a very laid back guy, but I would listen to my mother because this woman, she amazes me sometimes. She can like sniff out like the ending of every movie that we've ever watched. Like, she is just so perceptive on certain things about certain qualities in film or in stories or in anything that I would feel like, you know, she clearly has lived or has some experience. So I'd want to hear her out if she's like, listen, I have a bad vibe about this. Okay, well, tell me.
Yeah. Like, you trust your parents' opinion. Yeah.
Yeah. But also, I know this is going to sound bad, but like, more importantly, if my friends don't like them, like if my very good friends, like you, for example, if you were like, he is the worst.
Yeah. I would.
And I would literally heed that, and I would be like, let's have a serious conversation. Why?
Yeah, because why? Yeah, like, yeah.
And I'd be like, okay, you're right. Like, if you can't get along with because my friends are heavily my family too.
Yeah, exactly. They're your chosen family.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
you're my chosen family.
I'm your inbred sister.
I was gonna say, would you be my Valentine? But then you just said you're my inbred sister. So never mind.
I'll be your Valentine. Okay. Oh shit.
This has been a good episode.
Yes, this has been great.
Barring any technical difficulties.
After the 5th time doing this.
Yeah. Well, the first, the second, the third. Especially that first part, which really didn't work out.
Yeah. But we're here now.
Here we are.
11 o'clock at night.
I mean, I feel like, you know, we learned a lot more about each other and had great conversations to open up our perspectives, and that's always good.
That's always good. And people can laugh at our misery, so there's that.
All right. Do you have any, and I didn't ask you to prepare this ahead of time, but do you have any piping hot recommendations that are just like off the jump, off the top of your head?
I mean, I just binge watched Bridgerton, and it was everything I needed and more. Like those,
what I should do on Valentine's Day.
Those men, those men are so fucking hot on that show. However, like, I do want to put a pin in this. Like, I do want us to. There's something that I want to talk about Bridgerton, but like, it requires
that's perfect
more discussion, which we can bring up in another episode. But I did like Bridgerton, but we can talk about it next episode, because there was some things.
Yeah, and there's some things coming out right now, which I've been reading articles about, which we can discuss too.
Okay.
Just like about the acting and femininity and
yeah, we could talk about that.
I think that'll be interesting. Hot. Ooh, I got something.
Okay.
New podcast alert for any of you spooky bitches who love a spooky weird show.
Ooh, me. I love it. What?
So discovered this by accident just by going to the browse of what do you call it? Just the page, the
dark web.
Yeah. It's called The Apology Line, and it's produced by Wondery, and basically I think there's only like 3 to 4 episodes out right now. But it's not to give away too much, but it's based on a phone line that was active in the 80s, and it was an art project. It was an open phone line that let anyone call in and completely anonymous tell what they're apologizing for. And it started as like very small little apologies and turned into a line where people would say some of the most gruesome shit that they had done.
Oh my gosh. What is this called?
It's called The Apology Line.
I'm going to listen to it tonight.
It's so fucking good. And
fuck.
It's told from the perspective of the wife of the artist who started it. And
Apology Line. Okay.
Yeah, and it just starts to get really like in depth and connected with, like the artist at one point, makes these recordings live and turns it into an exhibit so people can come and listen to what people are like apologizing for.
Oh, I'm gonna listen to this tonight. Oh, fuck.
And then he starts trying to connect with some of the most fucked up people, because he's also kind of dark and whimsical himself. So he would leave messages for the people who left him messages.
Oh, fuck. Oh, I love it. Okay, I'm gonna listen to this tonight.
Totally into it.
All right. Well,
about love, I'll be talking about this fucking
we love it. A good yin yang moment.
Yes.
So everybody, if you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe to us either on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. If you're on Apple, please rate us 5 stars. We're also on YouTube now. We're posting all of our episodes on YouTube, so please check that out on there. Like and subscribe us on there. And yeah.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends, tell your mama, tell your grandma, like spread the fucking word, because this is some good shit. Like,
yeah, and if you have anybody that you think deserves
to come on the show,
their truth, like, let's get them on here. Let's talk to them. Let's promote whatever they're working on. And I think it would be really good to have more diversity, even more so than what we've already had. Just all kinds of topics are available and up for discussion.
Give us anything. Nothing is too taboo.
Nothing is too hot for the kettle.
Somebody told me the other day that we should talk to a cop, and I was like, girl.
Then I definitely can't be drinking.
Girl.
What about an ex-police officer?
No, I would be down to talk to a cop, because like my uncle's a cop.
Could we talk to them anonymously?
That could be, that could be,
they could speak
because surprisingly, like, I, as a very liberal person, like, I have like cops in my family. And like, I have friends that have cop relatives, and like, so like, I've heard like, that would actually be a good thing to talk about.
let's
I think I could open my mind up to it.
let's pinpoint this, because I do like my viewpoints may surprise some people, but yeah, no, I do. We should maybe do that. That'd be good.
I like that. We'll figure it out. All right, guys. Happy Valentine's Day. If you're listening to us on V-Day, please enjoy a glass of wine.
And make sure your date tips more than 20%.
Yeah. Make sure if you're on a date or if you just finished a date, you ask your date if they tipped on the discount or if they tipped on the because
yes.
those are what you call deal breakers.
Red flags.
Yes. And I do have one final thought on red flags. And this I got from BoJack Horseman. It's one of my favorite quotes of all time. And it is, the red flags don't seem like red flags when you have on rose-colored glasses.
And that's how we will end the show. Bye.